Finally. Now, believe it or not, I've been waiting for this to kind of come through, and I've been waiting to talk about this because this is exactly what Microsoft needed to happen. Now, listen, this isn't the so-called end of it in terms of the entire thing, but what's good news is that there's a lot of people that were out there making tweets, and I hope they're scrubbing the tweets, to be honest with you, because to be quite real about this entire situation, a lot of people have egg on their face after this, and Microsoft is looking, I gotta admit, better than ever. So yeah, you know, us as fans, we continue to get more and more and more, and then when you see Microsoft kind of pull out on the edge here and pull out ahead of what Sony is doing, I think that there's going to be some people that are going to be shocked by this, but you honestly should not be shocked by this in the least, because Microsoft has been setting up for this for who the hell knows how long, but it does seem like they've been setting this up for a very long time, and it's going to pay off in a big, big way. I want to get into this because I love this news. What's up, everybody? I'm Crab Gamer. This is Crab Gamer Reviews, back with yet another fantastic video. Please go ahead and slap that like button, give it a good thumbing. I'm looking to get 100 likes per video. It's actually been happening a little bit. I noticed I usually am not one to look at the videos or anything like that once they're up, but I've noticed just scrolling through that, you know, there's a good handful of my videos lately that are reaching that mark. So I want to say thank you, and please keep it up. I'm going to try to my best to keep the content coming and make sure that everybody has something that they like watching, you know. But make no mistake about it, I'm definitely a pro Xbox guy, you know, YouTuber. So again, Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard finally is going to be approved by the UK regulator this week. I said it was going to be a big week this week for Microsoft, and here it is. Microsoft's proposed acquisition of Activision Blizzard has been under investigation from regulatory authorities for quite some time now. But it looks like that the process is finally reaching the finish line, as one of the biggest potential stumbles it could have had would have been if the United Kingdom's Competitions and Markets Authority, or the CMA, had taken issue with the deal and its impact on the industry, but it seems like that's unlikely to happen. That's according to report the Financial Times, which claims on this past week that the UK CMA will declare its final ruling on Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard, and the deal is likely to be approved. Earlier in the year, of course, initial findings by the CMA expressed concerns that the acquisition could harm gamers in the UK and have a detrimental impact with competition in the industry. Now, though last month the agency said that after having considered relevant evidence, it no longer felt that the deal would result in substantial lessening of competition in console gaming services. In response, Sony said it found the CMA stance surprising, unprecedented, and irrational. Meanwhile, the European Commission will also be sharing its final ruling to the proposed acquisition in under a month, and according to reports, the deal is likely to be approved there as well. And lastly but not least, we of course have the FTC, which was never going to win that case anyway. They were just going out trying to prove something, and it just doesn't look like that is going to actually happen. So one less hurdle for them to do, as the publishing giant looks to kind of acquire Activision Blizzard, with the new report indicating that, again, the news of the CMA's apparent willingness to improve the high-profile acquisition comes just days after Lena Khan, chair of the U.S. Federal Trade Commission, clarified the FTC's opposition to Microsoft's acquisition of Activision in statements before Congress. First announced by the technology giant in January of 2022, Microsoft's plans to acquire Activision Blizzard have been met with pushback from some international regulators, as well as many gamers. The largest video game acquisition in history, if approved, the deal would see Microsoft gaining control not only of popular PC and console franchises like Call of Duty and Diablo, but also massive mobile gaming publisher King. Now, while the proposed acquisition continues to face resistance from regulators in some countries, the tide appears to be turning in Microsoft's favor. Last week, South Africa approved the acquisition, making it the latest country to throw regulatory support behind the deal. According to a new report by Financial Times, which I just covered, the United Kingdom is going to be doing that again this week. The CMA is expected to support it. If approved by the CMA, Microsoft will have cleared one of the largest hurdles still remaining for the deal. Although Microsoft will still need approval from the U.S. Federal Trade Commission, as well as other international bodies before it can close the deal, receiving the CMA's blessing would represent a huge step forward for the proposed acquisition. As Microsoft hasn't been resting on its laurels while waiting for the deal to be approved, though, with the company continuing to make agreements to expand its reach in the global gaming market. As part of the latest deal, Microsoft announced a 10-year cloud gaming partnership with mobile provider in the UK, EE, earlier in the month. The future of Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard is still up in the air, with the very real possibility that it could fall apart, but that's starting to look less and less likely. If the CMA approves the merger later this week as it's expected, it will bring controversial deal one step closer to becoming a reality. And while this latest news is unlikely to be welcomed by Microsoft's biggest competitor Sony, continuing to throw shade at Microsoft and Nintendo on patents might help the rival gaming company giant throw off some steam. So again, that was verbatim from Game Rant, kind of poking fun at Sony for the way that they kind of make fun of Sony, or Sony makes fun of Nintendo as well as Microsoft. So yeah, very interesting to say the least. I love seeing this. I thought, to be honest with you, that this would be the case. And again, I just absolutely love seeing the fact that, you know, Microsoft is out there kind of making these moves, and I feel like there's some downside to Microsoft buying this company in the first place. And one of those things was, I felt like they had to be, I don't want to say conservative, but they really kind of had to be conservative for a while. And unfortunately, that's just what they had to do. They forced Sony to be conservative. You know, Sony couldn't announce anything. How can you be saying that exclusives aren't important, blah, 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 and then hold these big events where you hype up your exclusives, right? So, again, Microsoft is out here kind of doing things that honestly are quite unexpected, and they've also managed to sort of have this mass appeal to everybody. Like, everybody's talked about this, and I'm not, you know, I get it because this is huge news, but for me personally, I'm just thankful that it looks like all this stuff is finally coming to an end, and we're finally getting a resolution to this. That's what we've been asking for the longest time. So yeah, hopefully this can be something that we finally can, you know, wave goodbye to, and, you know, again, just kind of be happy about it, in my opinion. I think this is really cool stuff. So I would love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinion. Are you happy that this is finally coming to an end? You know, I just, man, I'm so thankful for that, and it's just such great news. Let me know in the comments below. I'm going to link these articles. There's 2 of them that I want you to check out, and you can read up about this and see just how big of a deal this is. But let me know what you think. I hope you guys all have a great day. Rack 'em up, fact 'em up, crap gamer 'em up. Thanks for watching. The Crap Gamer, out.